The whole Me Too movement is so by women like Blake Lively. She is not who people think she is.
Muted some people. There's a couple people that I have muted.
Good.
Yeah. Blake Lively.
I think I'm just brunette because the book's
not everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
Who was the biggest diva on set?
Let me just say, that was a tough show to film, and I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film.
Blake Lively is stirring up some serious drama right now. But what if I told you the feud with Justin Baldoni is just the tip of the iceberg? Buckle up, because things get way juicier when we talk about her clashes with Leighton Meester and Anna Kendrick. These two actresses have had their own fiery run-ins with Blake, and trust me, it's not pretty. Despite her sweet image as Taylor Swift's ride-or-die BFF and the ultimate mom of four, Blake's been caught in some seriously spicy feuds with co-stars that'll leave you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, there was an article recently saying that Leighton and I were frenemies. And it's
frenemies. Is that the new term? Frenemies?
Yeah, we're friends, but we're also enemies. And it's really strange because they always want to pit women against each other. You don't hear about, like, Penn and Chase hating each other and being jealous and competitive.
2 seconds later.
I think I'm just brunette because the book's
not everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
And here's where the tea gets even hotter. Blake's ex-assistant just dropped a bombshell that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about her. Turns out, behind the scenes, Blake is far from the chill, casual hangout vibe we might have imagined. Get ready, because what's been revealed is seriously gonna make you double take.
I met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
I can't be a Disney princess ever.
For starters, let's dive into the drama between Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick, which started back during the filming of their 2018 thriller, A Simple Favor. From the get-go, rumors of a feud were swirling, and it all seemed to kick off with something Anna said back in 2016. In an interview, Anna made a comment about how she'd be terrible at being like Taylor Swift, the all-American fan-loving superstar. She basically said she wasn't going to sugarcoat things like Taylor, instead, going for a more snarky, dry, and cynical vibe with her own fans. Now, it didn't seem like she was throwing serious shade at Taylor, but that little remark set the stage for tension between her and Blake, who, as we know, is Taylor's bestie. When the two were cast in A Simple Favor, they had to work together, but we didn't really get a peek into their dynamic until the press tour started, and let's just say, it was awkward. In interviews, you could cut the tension with a knife. There was that one moment when Blake and Anna were talking about compliments, and Blake's mom's weird way of expressing things.
Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. Look at the body language experts analyzing this right now. How quickly do you...
Don't touch me.
Cherry on top, on the Celebrum Memoir Book Club podcast, hosts Claire and Ashley spilled that by time shooting wrapped, Anna and Blake weren't even speaking to each other anymore. And they were not the same besties that some might have assumed after watching the interview. All of these allegations started when an insider who worked at the film studio revealed some shocking behind-the-scenes drama. According to the tip-off, the rumors about Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick not getting along were true. In fact, things were so bad that the studio had to step in and have a chat with the two, telling them to fake a friendship for the press tour. Apparently, Anna was super competitive with Blake and even insisted that her cleavage be photoshopped to be just as big as Blake's on the A Simple Favor poster. One producer described the tension as unbearable, and they had to work around it during filming. Blake later threw some subtle shade in an interview calling Anna nice. Little did she know the drama was just beginning. Anna reportedly found Blake impossible to work with, while Blake accused Anna of stealing the spotlight during promo shoots. By the end of the press tour, they weren't even speaking, and the public definitely noticed. Fans took to the comments, with one saying, "Blake's always taking over interviews. It says a lot," and another adding, "Anna put her in her place and I love it." Despite all the tension on set, the A Simple Favor director actually begged both actresses to return for a sequel. But from the start, fans were already skeptical about how Anna and Blake were even going to work together again, especially after the last press tour, where it was clear they didn't get along. Insiders say the two hadn't even spoken or seen each other in years before signing on to this project. In fact, Anna was hesitant to return for the sequel. She had a gut feeling that it wasn't going to work, but the director insisted they could make it happen. Well, it didn't take long for old tensions to resurface once filming started. The set quickly became a hotbed of bad energy, with sources describing it as increasingly toxic. To avoid any major conflicts, Blake and Anna had to be kept apart, but even that couldn't prevent the tension from being obvious. Production in Italy was palpable with the animosity between the two actresses, and Anna thought maybe she'd get a fresh start with Blake, but nope, it was just more of the same. By April 2024, when the film wrapped, things took a turn for the worse. Blake refused to promote the movie, and the rumors swirling around were that it had to do with her ongoing legal battles with Justin Baldoni. Now here's the problem. If the movie's lead won't promote it, the whole thing is pretty much doomed. Paul Feig, the director, put everything into this project, but without Blake's support in the promotional efforts, it's just not going to succeed. To make matters worse, Amazon, who had outbid multiple studios to get the rights to the movie, is furious. They were expecting a massive hit after seeing glowing test screenings and hearing raves about Blake's and Anna's performances. But now, with Blake pulling back, the film is in jeopardy of never seeing the light of day. And it doesn't stop there. This entire mess is just adding fuel to the fire of Blake's growing reputation of being a problem in the industry. Reports are saying that CBS and Dick Clark Productions even shut her out of the Golden Globes this year, refusing her request to present a major award. Because of this, Blake allegedly refused to promote the film, despite director Paul Feig's relentless efforts to get A Simple Favor 2 finished and ready for the big screen. Blake is simply not giving it a chance. With all this being said, it seems like the rumors about Blake's behavior might actually be true. I mean, why would you let others go down when you're supposed to be working together? That brings us to another celebrity who had some pretty intense drama with Blake.
Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
got a few of them.
Come on, it was a joke.
Let's dive into the complicated relationship between Blake Lively and Leighton Meester, especially when it comes to their time working together on Gossip Girl. While their on-screen chemistry as best friends, Serena and Blair, kept fans hooked for 6 seasons, the reality off-screen was far less friendly. One of the most shocking moments that came to light was Blake allegedly mocking Leighton for being born in a prison. It was a sick burn that many found unnecessary and uncomfortable, especially considering their history. During their time filming Gossip Girl from 2007 to 2012, the two reportedly clashed due to their very different personalities and priorities. In fact, an executive producer from the show confirmed in 2017 to Vanity Fair that while Blake and Leighton weren't outright enemies, they definitely weren't friends. Unlike their characters who were portrayed as inseparable best friends, Blake and Leighton's relationship was nothing like that. The producer pointed out that the two didn't even follow each other on social media, which in today's world is a pretty clear sign of distance. If you've ever watched promotional interviews or behind-the-scenes footage from the show, it's pretty obvious what the producer was referring to. There was no deep friendship vibe between them, and their interactions often seemed more like they were just co-workers than close friends. One particular moment from a promo interview stands out. Blake tried to make a joke, but Leighton just let the awkwardness sit there without saving her.
She got a few of them.
Come on, it was a joke. Lord have mercy.
That was a lot of information about cages, and I'm sorry, I was still thrown off by that stuff.
He was like, wow.
Who else didn't want to act in a cage?
Well, some of them started
a cage.
Yes.
Viewers couldn't help but notice how Leighton physically distanced herself from Blake, hugging the side of her chair like she was trying to avoid any more uncomfortable moments. Behind the scenes, producers described Blake as someone who was very in the moment and always trying to stay current. She'd talk about what was trending and what restaurants were hot right now, almost as if she was always operating on a surface level. In contrast, Leighton was described as much more removed and quiet. She'd often wander around the set, staying to herself, which paints a picture of two people who were just too different to ever form a true friendship. But it's not just Leighton who has had issues with Blake. Armie Hammer, who once played Blake's love interest in Gossip Girl, had his own heated moment with her. In fact, he was fired from the show after an altercation with her during Season 2 filming. In a 2017 appearance on Watch What Happens Live, Armie was asked who the biggest diva on the set was, and although he didn't name names, it was clear from his nervousness that it was Blake. He admitted that it was a tough show to film, and things got so bad that he didn't even finish all the episodes he was supposed to film. And it doesn't end there. Blake also seems to have ruffled feathers with Hugh Jackman's ex-wife, Deborah Lee. After Hugh split with Deborah, Blake and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, were accused of siding with Hugh, and Deborah didn't take kindly to it. In fact, she's reportedly upset with Blake for not supporting her, especially after Hugh's new relationship with Sutton Foster became public. Deborah felt like Ryan and Blake knew about it, and she wasn't too happy about the situation. Now it seems like her reputation has taken another hit now that Justin Baldoni has clapped back with evidence debunking her allegations against him. Yep, it looks like this feud has reached a boiling point. But for those of you who might have missed the tea, let me take you back to where it all started. It all began in January 2019 when Justin Baldoni, known for his role on Jane the Virgin, managed to snag the film rights to Colleen Hoover's TikTok-famous bestseller, It Ends With Us, through his company, Wayfarer Studios. The book had been making waves on social media, and Baldoni's move to adapt it to a film seemed like a no-brainer. Fast forward to January 2023, after years of anticipation, the cast was finally revealed. And guess who landed the lead role? Blake Lively as Lily Bloom. Naturally, Baldoni cast himself as Riley, Lily's neurosurgeon husband. Now here's where things start to get interesting. Despite the buzz surrounding the casting announcement, Blake and Justin were never seen together during promotions or events. No joint interviews, no photos, nothing. It was like they were avoiding each other on purpose. Still, Justin had nothing but kind words to say about Blake at the film's premiere, calling her strong, funny, and intelligent. Seems sweet, right? But wait, it's not all roses and compliments. When it came time to promote the movie, Blake found herself in hot water for what critics described as a tone-deaf approach. The film tackles serious themes of DV, and many felt that her style of promoting it missed the mark entirely. Instead of addressing the sensitive subject matter with the gravity it deserved, Blake's public appearances and interviews seemed off. This sparked a flurry of criticism online, with fans questioning her understanding of the story's depth and her suitability for the role. The backlash only added fuel to the fire when rumors of tension between Blake and Justin began circulating. And then came the bombshell. Blake made some pretty damning accusations about Justin, hinting at unprofessional behavior behind the scenes. The allegations included fat-shaming, an uncomfortably long on-screen kiss, and other behavior that left Blake feeling deeply uncomfortable. Fans immediately speculated that Blake's husband, Ryan Reynolds, might have inserted himself into the production drama, possibly creating friction between her and Baldoni. Honestly, who wouldn't be on edge if Ryan Reynolds, Mr. Deadpool himself, was staring daggers at you from the sidelines? But Baldoni wasn't about to take these claims lying down. In true Hollywood fashion, he brought in big guns. Crisis management expert Melissa Nathan, who famously handled Johnny Depp's defamation trial. While Justin's PR team was firing up their damage control strategy, Blake's troubles multiplied. At the time, Blake had just announced her second pregnancy with Ryan Reynolds, and Kirsty innocently congratulated her on her little bump. But instead of accepting the compliment gracefully, Blake reportedly fired back with a sharp "congrats on your little bump," catching everyone off guard. For most, this might just seem like a cheeky moment, but for Kirsty, it painfully hit close to home. She had recently learned she was unable to conceive children, making Blake's words sting far deeper than Blake could have realized. The journalist later admitted that the encounter was so upsetting it made her question whether she wanted to stay in her career. The resurfaced clip further fueled the narrative that Blake might not be the innocent party here. Baldoni, a self-proclaimed feminist and recipient of the prestigious 2024 Voices of Solidarity Award, looked like the picture of respectability. However, when Blake filed a lawsuit in late December, claiming that both Baldoni and producer Jamie Heath had created a hostile work environment, everything went into overdrive. The lawsuit alleged serious misconduct, including essay and a smear campaign aimed at discrediting Blake. The bombshells didn't stop there. According to the New York Times, Blake's claims included inappropriate remarks, unsolicited videos, and deeply uncomfortable incidents. One particularly chilling accusation was that Heath entered Blake's trailer while she was topless, ignoring her protests. Adding insult to injury, Blake said Baldoni forced overly intimate moments during filming and often made lewd comments about his personal life. These claims led Wayfarer Studios to hire an intimacy coordinator and promised not to retaliate against Blake, a move that only added more fuel to the fire. But then the tables started turning. Baldoni's team presented receipts, literally. One of the key incidents Blake described supposedly happened while she was on vacation. That detail poked a massive hole in her story, casting doubt on her credibility. Fans, initially divided, began questioning her motives. Adding to the drama, leaked emails revealed Blake had pushed for more control over the movie's direction, even demanding script rewrites to give her character more prominence. When these requests were denied, tensions reportedly skyrocketed. And then came the pièce de résistance. Blake allegedly wanted an executive producer credit but didn't get it. Insiders believe that rejection may have triggered the conflict. With emotions running high and frustrations mounting, some are now speculating that Blake's allegations might have been influenced by her personal grievances rather than professional misconduct. If that wasn't enough, leaked DMs exposed Blake venting about how much screen time Justin had compared to her. Also, let's pause for a second and talk about Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. These two are usually ride or die for Blake, but their silence in the middle of all of this? Major plot twist. Fans can't help but wonder, do they know something the rest of us don't? Their radio silence has everyone buzzing, adding even more layers to this already messy drama. And that's not all. Some of Blake's former Gossip Girl co-stars have thrown subtle shade by liking posts that seem to back Justin. Yep, it's like Hollywood's version of a chess game, and every move is making the scandal even juicier. Social media is ablaze, with fans, critics, and gossip accounts picking apart every new revelation. At the moment, Justin seems to have the upper hand. A poll on Bored Panda shows a noticeable lean toward Team Justin after the bombshell evidence dropped. The pressure on Blake and her team is heating up as they scramble to craft a response that sticks. What makes this situation even messier for Blake Lively's PR team is the bombshell dropped by her former assistant, who's come forward with claims that align all too well with the swirling narratives about Blake's recent controversies. The ex-assistant highlighted a particularly awkward moment during an interview about Blake's upcoming film, It Ends With Us, which centers on the heavy topic of DV. In an interview with Chicago reporter Jake Hamilton, Blake was asked how audiences should approach conversations about the film's sensitive themes. Instead of giving a straightforward response, she quipped sarcastically, "Are you like asking for my address or my phone number or location share? I could just location share with you," followed by laughter. The clip has since gone viral on TikTok, racking up thousands of views and sparking debates. Many fans felt the remark was tone-deaf, especially given the serious nature of the question. To add to the chaos, Jake later addressed that moment during an August 14th broadcast, as reported by Us Weekly. He clarified that Blake eventually did answer the question thoughtfully, but her sarcastic opener is the part dominating social media. For critics, this is yet another misstep from Blake, and her former assistant's account only adds more weight to the controversy. Fans are now questioning whether this was simply a poorly timed joke or indicative of a larger issue with Blake's approach to serious topics. The real question is, how will Blake and her team handle this growing backlash? Will they issue an apology, or will they stick to silence and hope the storm blows over? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on this unfolding drama. Trust me, this story is far from over.